Well, hello everybody. Hello, and welcome. Today I'll be rating architectural styles. There are many of them listed here, and I will be rating them from everything should be built this way to it's unbearable, it's suffocating, it's completely objectively ugly, and everything in between. Fortunately for us, there are the names of these styles written here instead of just seeing examples of it, so we actually know what we're talking about. So let's get just started. Almohad is a style I have never heard ever in my life. It looks Eastern, Arabian, Iranian, something like this. It looks a bit religious. It looks nice. I have nothing else to say. I will give it to neutral just because I really don't know anything about it. So I guess it's rather local to a specific cultural area. Arcology, never heard of it, but it looks futuristic. It has ology in it, so maybe it comes from architecture and ecology combined. If so, pretty damn cool. Maybe some avatar kind of stuff, only in more technology. I give it a good. I don't know. I'm easily bluffed and excited just by an image. Yeah. Now Art Deco is, I know, something people like, me included. Art Deco is pretty slick. There are examples of Art Deco all around the world, and I think because they are so rare, they're always exciting to see if there are some Art Deco elements. I will give it a grade. In my mind, Art Deco is more or less reduced to some ornaments rather than to a whole sort of layout of a building or a style. So I don't really know, but the ornaments I really like. Baroque, yes, I give it a bad. I'm sure that there's a big overlap between where tourists usually go and the amount of Baroque places, I guess, at least in Europe. But yeah, for me, it's like dictatorial style of, I don't know. Something one cannot say for sure about the Bauhaus. The Bauhaus is, yeah, I give it a grade. I don't think everything should be built this way. People would just hit their knees on all these sharp edges. But it is very influential. It is left, it is democratic, it is liberal, it combines all different arts into the process. It's actually super great. If the outcome would be having a little bit of this kind of sexiness that Art Deco has, I would completely say everything should be built this way. Beaux Arts, I really don't know what this is, but by the looks of it, it is something like Baroque. Bengalese goes here, no idea what we are talking about. Certainly not based on this image. I guess some people are really into this kind of more archaic looking stuff, much older than, Baroque stuff, but I am not one of them, so please forgive me. Biedermeier is good. It is simple. It is neat, tidied up, very clean. I guess it's sort of a clean take on Baroque architecture. Is that possible to say? I really don't know. Based on this image provided here, it might be so. I think it's cool. There's a simplicity to it, and the simplicity that is also beautiful is usually the best. Blobitecture. Now, blobism or blobitecture is fantastic. There are really not many examples of this architecture, but one I do know is the how's it called? In Birmingham, there's a building, the Salisbury or some supermarket. Is it Salisbury? Anyway, this is the I think art museum in Genf provided here. Absolutely fantastic. And just for the heck of it, I think everything should be built this way. It would be a wondrous land of free-flowing ideas and complete, yeah, you could say nonsense architecture, but so much combining beauty and ugliness, and it's just kind of fascinating. Baulism I have never heard. It looks a bit like Bauhaus from here. I don't know. This is Centre Pompidou, isn't it? I mean, I really like Centre Pompidou, but I don't know Bauerlism. But if we just assume it is like Centre Pompidou, I'll put it to great, because Centre Pompidou is great. In fact, when I was seeing it the first time, I thought it is a building under construction. Didn't know that this is how you could build buildings as well, you know? Brutalism, yeah, I mean, I think if you like brutalist architecture, you have another problem in your life. But if you accept that, I just absolutely love it. I think everything should be brutalist. I think it would give us a nice, smooth, apocalyptic vibe in our everyday life. Byzantine architecture is... I mean, I don't want to put all the religious stuff on neutral, because I do think Byzantine architecture is nicer than maybe these other two, although I don't really know these other... I mean, I don't know these other two. Should I give it a good? Yeah. Let's have an optimistic rating game. Classical, I don't know. Neoclassical, maybe. I don't know if this will also come here. Yeah, I think it will. So let's give it an M. Deconstructivism, yeah. I mean, yeah. Yes, because everything that is bold and new of an idea, theoretically or conceptually, and then also in terms of shape and form, you know, just gets me somehow. I think everything should be built deconstructivist. I think it would freak people out. It would be revolutionary. It would be cool. The style, never heard of it. I give it an M just because I've never heard of it, and I imagine my reaction would be like, excuse me. Dutch colonial, bad because of colonial. Egyptian revival, don't know this stuff, but what I see, it looks like an Egyptian version of brutalism. I give it a good. I don't really know what Egyptian revival means. Maybe it's a sort of new take on some more ancient Egyptian architecture. Yeah, I guess with so many styles, you cannot really know all of them. I give it a good still. Egyptian old gets an M from me. Georgian, yeah, Guji. Well, this looks crazy. It doesn't. I don't think there's much built in that style. I'm not so happy with this list. I put all this crazy stuff up there. Let's change it a bit. Deconstructivism is just great. Guji is just great, and blobby texture is also just great. Because at the end of the day, brutalism I like, period. The other things I was just carried away. But let's have it this way. Gothic is cool, but also not better than neutral. Neutral with a tendency to be good. Greek revival, Egyptian revival, Greek revival, yeah, probably goes to good. I really don't know what this means even. Like, can you even distinguish these things so clearly? Now, these are two towers in Milan, I think, that are just green. And what I'm thinking is that if you live in a building that has a green facade, the amount of mosquitoes and insects and birds that are dwelling on your balcony, I think idea-wise, yeah. In reality, no. I think it's greenwashing. Is this the right term? It's playing with the idea of being sustainable, but probably it costs a lot of money, a lot of maintenance, has a lot of other issues. But what's good about it is the sort of climatic conditions inside the building if your facade is green. I give it an M, let's not be too mean. Herrerian, I have never heard of. It has to go to neutral. Imperial Crown, really no idea what this means. It gets an M from me. Industrial is great. Really love it. Industrial stuff, the aesthetic of factories and power plants. Not that anyone should live like this. But it is cool because similar to Bauhaus, perhaps it gives you always the sense of like, you can craft or shape something here, you know? You want to do something. Italianate, I mean, the word itself is already like an Jacobean, yeah, same. Jeffersonian, I mean, by the sounds of it. Janky. I don't know what janky is, but I like the word. It gets a neutral. Mar del Plata. Some ocean architecture. Mar del Plata. Really don't know what this is. Gets a neutral. Metabolism. Well, I know the word. I didn't know it's a style. Metabolism. Yeah, there are just so many styles here that I have never... Mid-century modern is something that I have heard of. I don't know if that makes it more famous, but mid-century modern is surprisingly cool. This is like the US aesthetic that I dig. I'm thinking about Frank Lloyd Wright, Falling Water, or other of his buildings. I think it is good, but good with the tendency to be great. I think it's pretty cool. This is the US, the classy US in a nutshell for me. Minka, never heard, but it looks cool, so I give it a good. Modernism, now, this is a big one. Bauhaus and modernism are so... Can you even distinguish one from the other? Well, I would have thought that Bauhaus is a sub-style of the whole modernist times. Modernism, yes, great. And if postmodernism comes, I will give it a neutral or a good. National romantic, I don't know what this means, but it sounds romantic. Neutral. Quite a fair distribution here, but nothing unbearable. That's just really surprising. We should check this again. Neo-Indian. I really don't know what that means. I really don't know what I'm seeing there. Yeah, you know, the place really is justified being there. Neoclassical, yes. I like neoclassical stuff. I don't know what this says about me, but I do like it in parts. I don't want everything to be this way, but I also don't really want to be in a city where there isn't anything neoclassical. Neo-futurism, yeah, this stuff really doesn't get me, and maybe I'm thinking about Zaha Hadid architecture, something that architecture students in their first semester really get into and read all the books about, and then by the end of the last semester kind of fall out of it and start to hate it. And I cannot say this about all the buildings of this style, but this particular one, this Haidar Aliyev Center or something in Baku, is by all means absolutely unbearable. So I will put it there. Palazzo, Prozzo, yeah, sure, why not? Good. There's always a little bit of room for a palazzo, if you ask me. Plateresque, no idea what this is, but I'm not particularly excited about this old castle-y look of it. Gets an M. Pombaline, I mean, from which country is the person that made this? I mean, these must be like, there are 2 buildings in the world in that style or something. Pombaline, I don't know why I'm complaining, I chose this myself voluntarily. Pombaline, I really don't know. Bad, looks boring, I don't know. Portuguese colonial, everything of colonial in it is... Yeah, well, can you say I like colonial architecture without supporting what has happened? I don't know. Just aesthetically, I guess it's difficult because architecture does represent the political situation, the social situation, situation of the production of these buildings, whether fair or just. Or... Okay, but if we leave all of this out and pretend we are stupid, then Portuguese colonial is probably at least neutral. Postmodernism. Now, this is a big one. Postmodernism is... I like it less. I mean, it has, like, it depends on the building rather than the style. I give it a good ranch style, though. This reminds me of this mid-century modern. Mid-century modern, it sounds so nice. Ranch style. Can you imagine a whole city built in the ranch style? I'm thinking about mid-century modern. Why would it be anywhere else? Is this different? I don't know. Regency looks like, what was the other thing we had earlier? Jacobean, Palazzo, Regency. It looks like some Scottish house that I would have just called Gothic, dirty Gothic. Yeah, I don't know, I don't like it so much, but it's also not bad. Renaissance. Now, Renaissance architecture is tourists' favorite. Think about Florence, all these Italian cities that are basically, you know, nurturing their people from the money they earn by selling their Renaissance architecture to the outside world. For me, it is Baroque level, Romanesque. Romanesque and Byzantine should be probably in the same category. Okay, let's put it to neutral. Let's put it where there's a little bit of space left. Russo Byzantine, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's fair to put it here. Songnik. Yeah, what do you want me to say to this? I really don't know what this is. It looks like some Asian kind of temple thing, which is pretty cool, you know? Pretty damn cool. Yeah, I mean, if it's really what I think it is, like this kind of monk temple, the roofs with the curved up edges kind of stuff, then yes, I think everything should be built this way. If it's something else, then maybe not. I think it's too risky, you know? I just don't want to be a guy who is like saying everything should be brutalist. Spanish colonial goes to Portuguese colonial, which I have put to neutral. Structural expressionism. Yeah, okay. I'm seeing a skyscraper here, an expressive, bold, big skyscraper. I'm thinking about a few buildings. This Lloyd's building in London or Hong Kong, I don't quite know. Is this part of it? Otherwise called high-tech architecture. These I usually like. If it is this, then it gets great. But since we don't know, I'll put it to good. Swiss Chalet. Yeah, okay. Swiss Chalet is cool. I don't like it, but it is cool. So I have a personal problem here. Swiss Chalet gets to neutral. Surprisingly neutral. I'm sure that this is some people's dreams to have a fireplace and leopard fur in front of it. Tudor, I don't know, something I have against this Tudor stuff. I cannot even tell you why, but my body goes to like, let's give it a neutral. Usonian, no idea what this is, and Victorian, quite famous of his style. The Victorian era was also quite significant to the history of Britain, well, the UK. I'm sorry. Okay, is there, well, I'm very unhappy with this list, but at the same time, I don't see how I could improve it. My question is there anything I should put up there with everything should be built this way? And should brutalism be up there even? Well, you know what? It is what it is. I have made my decisions. I will stand by them. And if they are wrong, then I will bear the consequences of it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my blabbering, and I see you for the next video. Bye bye.